Market recap for Thursday 11/09/2025. So today was CPI, right? And I'm noticing a theme here. So there's some CPIs with a wick, or like as in CPI or PPI or whatever, right? With the wick, and there's actual candles that make a gap, right? So this one was with a wick, so I was reluctant to not trade it, but the model still played out, but it's disgustingly high resistance, right? It still played out, but it's there. So let me explain my thoughts when I even looked at it, right? So at 8:30 when CPI dropped, we have this big candle, right? So for the day, I would like I don't care if price goes up or goes down, right? Because we do have sell side that we have been building up, right? And then we still have all-time high and the relative equal highs from yesterday, right? So it could be either way, so it doesn't matter. So first of all, 8:30, I'm looking at what the manipulation would be, right? So price first goes and shoots down, right? So is that the manipulation? That's a question. So I gotta mark up where could price manipulate from on the daily and the 4 hour. So let's go back to the daily, and then we have this week, right? So initially I marked the CE, but and then I was like, okay, that's too far if we don't take data loads, right? So I marked the upper quadrant as well, and you can see we hit the upper quadrant. But for the I did the exact same thing, right, with this wick, right? So the CE of it and the 4 hour CE. So if I drop to the 4 hour here, you can see the CE of that, the both here stacked, and this is the same as the daily with the 4 hour. So it's the same exact price points. So it's one level. All right, as we can see, what price did is manipulate down first, right? So that's cool, but that also could be like, oh, it's not the manipulation yet. How do I confirm it? Is what happens at 9 at open, right? So if that is not the manipulation yet, and we're gonna take this high right here at open, we should not really be taking that high, right? Because my main liquidity is right here, right? And then of course it's all time high after, but the main liquidity is right here. We're getting too close. Okay, now we're making relative equal highs with it. But would we use the initial 9:30 to push us up? Nah, like if we're going for like a CPI, remember that this data low is a gap, right? But it's like a wick, so and it's already been filled. So like if I'm looking at it, I don't think it's even gonna be there on the 10 side. It's still gonna be a gap, right? Barely from barely like 5 second maybe. It's just big dump and it's already filled, right? So there's nothing there to for us to go down unless we're gonna go for previous daily low. Us being this high, right? And then starting to like support the idea of like buy side, I mean relative equal highs and stuff. It just made it more unlikely for us to go all the way down. We could have, but it all depends on time, right? So for a discount and only discount, I can only buy at discount, which is midnight open, right? But mainly discount of the range, right? It has to be at least 0.5. So we can go there and we can see we're at double discount basically. We're at discount for the daily range and we're at discount for this current range that we have, right? Which the both basically, if you want to buy, the best buy is gonna be under midnight open. That there was always gonna be one or two subs a week. That's just gonna be perfectly at midnight open price for like the distribution phase. So knowing that this is the manipulation, right? Because it's iffy. I don't normally like the upper quadrant, but I mean, hey, it's news. And also because if we're looking at it in like the larger scale, this wick took all the sell side liquidity, fills the gap. So if we hop on the 15 minute, fills the gap, which is a balanced price range under here. So right there. And then if you filter it down, filter that gap down, I'm pretty sure if you hop to the 1 minute, it's gonna filter the only gap that exists, which is this one. This one here is a balanced price range, but it goes and like literally just fills it perfectly. So that could be considered as a protected low, right? Not 100%, but it's most likely. Why? Because especially at 9:30, rather than dumping, we went higher, right? And I'm more bullish than bearish, but I wouldn't mind the bearish idea. So I'd wait, right? And then once I've seen this and like it hit the gap on like up here, I knew I missed it, but I wasn't really looking to trade today. Just the fact that I don't like how we manipulated like this, right? Because there was too many this or this, but I'm glad that it played out eventually. But I'm glad that it played out. But also, I'm knowing to myself that really my entries are between like for manipulation wise, I'm gonna add time to it. So it has to be between 9:30, 9:40 or 9:38 or whatever till 10:10, right? So basically the macro, the manipulation has to be within the macro. And no, it's not just because ICT says it. It's literally based on all the days that I collect my entry time. I literally match the output, the average, and they are in the macro. And then comes this some days, well, yes, it could be extended, it could be like 10, 20, whatever, but there's only few of them. Like 81% of the entries are between that 9:40 till 10:10, right? So that is the only time I'm going to be looking for the manipulation. Some days are extended and I kind of know what they are because these are mostly the days that I'm expecting price to flip, and normally that will be around the London close macro, which is 10:50 to whatever. So again, 10 minutes before the normally be the high. So between 10:40 till 11, really, right? Between 10:40 till 11 max is my entry time. So let me try to find this, for example. So today was, you know, the entry time really was at 9:50, but the low, like when I say the 10 minutes, but it will be framed around that time, right? So you could, let's say you could enter from 9:42, right? And then 9:50 is really the entry right there to just ride it out in this high resistance liquidity run, or to the main liquidity that I was talking about. So like let's say I go in, go out for my main liquidity that I already had highlighted, and that's too much. Something like here, not too bad. And if you want to just leave the partial for the actual TP, which surprisingly is just the high of the day. I don't know why it skimmed it by that much. Like should have something, but we just engineering liquidity for all time high anyway. Cool. So this day 9:40 or 9:50, whatever within that range. This is a delayed Judah. So the entry here 10:50. Okay. That's Monday. Did I skip a whole day? I skipped Wednesday. Alright. Here. That was an entry yesterday for something else, but it was these lows. But real entry was the OTE when it hits it to the tick here. What's that? 10:47. So that will be entry time, right? So manipulation was already done, right here. But my entry time would have been either, let's say I'm hunting from like 9:40, 9:38 type thing, right? So this short, and then let's say I BE here, and then it flips. Let's say I'm on that short idea, or even I'm long. By the time that I wait till like 10:50ish, then there we go. I mean, how is it like this price action has been dog shit, but it's there. And also, would that be discount? Let's say if it's hold range. Yeah, that would be discount. Why is there a double line there? Right, that would be discount, and most importantly is OTE from this range. What else? Yeah, anyway, so I need to add, so my rules were, see, the short, I need to emphasize this. The short didn't make sense. Why? Because mine is based on, it has to be PD liquidity then PD array, right? And if we were gonna short, the PD arrays are under the liquidity. I'm not gonna count the data height like that. My main liquidity is right here, right? If we were gonna short, I can't see a PD array here, right? There's no PD array here. If there was a PD array here and they actually wanted to keep this short right here, would have worked out. I think I took this on paper as well. This one, right? Because it's in the time, right? And then boom, like look at it, it's basically working out. Boom, inverse fair value gap goes, hits it, boom, right? And if we wanted to go lower, there we go. To be fair, that could be a trade idea if this fails. But the fact that there's no, this would have been, I'm guarantee you, a 1 hour 15-minute PD array for it to drop there. But now I lost where it was. Where's that drop? Is it here? 10, 10, 50. But I don't even know. I'm not gonna look for the PD array, but it's gonna be on the 1 hour 15-minute for us to go up here to drop down here. I mean, that is something, but what would the TP be really? I know there's unfilled gaps, but I wouldn't take a trade that small, right? So if I was forcing the short, I mean, on paper I did take this short actually, because it was obvious. I took it to the midnight open, but you know, if I was trying to short here, I knew the only reason I did it on paper here as well, because it didn't make sense that there's no PD array above the liquidity, right? I would want the liquidity first, then PD array. And then so this had time and liquidity, right? So now I need, but for my thing to work, I need time, liquidity, and price, right? If these three elements are not there, it's not a high probability setup, right? And my main time window, like I said, 9:40 till 10:10, and yeah, that's about it. Garbage day, really. What would I expect for Friday or next week? Mainly is, as we can see, we're creating cells. Let's just look at the daily time frame, right? For example, I need to clean up this chart, but since here, previous daily low is not taken. Previous daily low is not taken. Previous daily low is not taken. Previous daily low is taken. Previous daily low is not taken. You see what I'm saying? Previous daily low is not taken. And all this we on the run to the all-time high, right? Is the exact thing we've done here. Right there. Which means expect another one of those, right? I'm expecting another one of those. Which means when we dump, we're gonna dump fast. It's not gonna be just a easy dump, and we're dumping all the way to here. It's not gonna be we're gonna dump to where we started it, and that's here. So whenever that dump starts, I'm short that whole week, because this whole week, kind of since Wednesday, been long, is week and a half or whatever. But whatever comes next is the short, and I don't know how much we're gonna bump all time high, and I'm pretty sure that's why we stolen it, right? We are going up, but not really going up that much every day. Like especially today. Look how much we just. I think we want to tick or something above that previous daily high. We can't get that close. We need to keep engineering liquidity. So yeah, anyway, that's the market recap. It's an alright day if I wanted to trade it, but there was too much here or there. You know, it could have do that, it could have done this, it could have done this, and just the lack of experience that I have with these type of CPI days. Other CPI days with a gap, all my days, I love them, bro. Like 9 times out of 10, I'll get that shit right, and it's normally a big move where normally we're not gonna take, like, let's say we're gonna go up, we wouldn't take the high, right? This wick wouldn't be as crazy, and we'd come down and we'd take the day low, right? Or like we'd already be here open, take the lows, and then just rock it for the day. The whole day we're just going up, basically, until we reach the target, and then we consolidate. See how we reach the target? Like we're going up kinda in a very, very high resistance run, and we consolidate. One thing I was looking at is as well is once we reach the target and like final hour macro, I was looking at this low to be taken because that's the PM liquidity, and I took a paper. Where is it? As well. Took it here. Yeah, this one. And it's going, and then when actually final hour macro starts, it's like, nah, BE'd me. But then goes and does it in the last minute. 3:59, boom, fall, target hit. Like, whatever. It is what it is. Weird ass day, weird ass price action. So I'm just literally gonna stick to my 1 hour 30 minutes, right? 90-minute window that I can look for a trade. Generally, after that, there is not even a point to even look at, like, yeah, these days I'm looking for like lunch and like final hour macro stuff to see if I can like find other models or stuff, but it's really just not worth it. They're there, but like it's not even worth it. I'm just gonna focus on the main one. And there is some days where this does not work out because the manipulation already happened. Um, happened in London, right? There's rare days where the manipulation happens in London, right? And it's so apparent because when the market at 9:30 will open and it's gone. It's in a hurry to go, in a hurry to go somewhere. And normally how you know this is when the opening range gap is just left open. One more thing about this low is also the, I'm pretty sure it's around the 0.5, so that's the closing and that's the opening price, right? So we go hit the 0.5. So that's reconfluences. We hit 0.5 of the opening range gap, so technically allowed to go higher. And midnight opening price within the time and already manipulated to the PD array, and this took the liquidity, right? So liquidity, PD arrays hit, enter PD arrays, discount, and time. So that was the only good trade, right? The short was just, it could have worked, it could have not worked. It's alright as well, but maybe aggressive stop loss. But the second that it got over this order block, that's the obvious buy. I'd probably buy it, like invest in the order block or whatever, right? Basically making a breakup block, I'm pretty sure, in a 15-second. This becomes low, high, low, low. Then you take the breaker into the fair value gap. That's not the type of fair value gap we use this for. And whatever. See? Right there. Let's say you missed this entry. Hope it comes back. And it does give you one at 950. Da 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 da. To the first guaranteed basically buy side liquidity. And then after that, there's the second one right there. This is one as well, but whatever. There's two main ones. Partial, terminus, done. That's the only way to trade today, really. Anyway, that's it for the market recap. Shit day, shit week, and peace.